So while we kill time, all right, I got the green light. We're going to go live right now, full on. So good morning, everybody. Once again, this is Principal Brian Wulf giving you guys a little update on an exciting project that we're going to have the opportunity to work on here at McLean High School. So as you are all aware, about a week ago, all of your teachers in English left school for a week. We also took Mr. Clifton with us, and we went to a training in Long Beach, California, around a project called Literate Voices. So literate voices, literate reading, voices, speaking, sharing experiences. The whole idea of the training was that we're going to bring a unique learning opportunity and experience to McLean High School. And this is exciting for us, and I just want to share a little contextual history for you all. I've actually done this project before with Miss Dr. Bethina, and many of you will get a chance to meet Dr. Bethina. She's going to come visit our classes later on during the project. And about 10, 12 years ago, Dr. Bethina reached out and worked with me at a high school I worked at called Sequoia High School. And she had this exciting opportunity where she said, hey, I have this great project and process. I think it'd be great for your guys' students. It's a unique opportunity. And we said, tell us more. So the basis of what we're going to be working on right now is pretty simple. You all have been in school for years. If you're in 9th grade, what are you, 10 years deep? And if you're in 11th grade, you're already on your 12th year of education. And for the majority of your educational experience, you've been reading about other people, other people's history, other people's stories. And you may connect to it. You may find it interesting, and you may not. A lot of it's historical. Some of it took place hundreds of years ago or in the past. And not too often do we get to learn from experiences that are very similar to our own. What this project will allow us to do is be the content creators of our experiences. And you are going to have the exciting opportunity to become a published author and write a book. And the book is going to be based off of your experiences, your history, your story, with the idea being that it's an opportunity to celebrate our culture, McLean High School, the students of McLean, the community of McLean, with the hope that you may serve as inspiration for others that come after you. You may provide them comfort or motivation, or just let people know that their experiences aren't unique just to them, that they're not alone. I know when I was in school, we used to read a lot of things from the 40s and 30s and 1800s and 1700s, and sometimes it was boring, and you may learn from it. But the idea of being able to create something for the next generation of students to learn from, experience, and read is powerful. So all that to say is you, McLean High School students, are about to become published authors in about 8 to 9 weeks. So let's kind of go through what this looks like. We have been chosen by the California State Chancellor's Office to participate in this project. Now, they could have chose any high school in the state of California, but they chose McLean High School. And McLean High School is currently the only high school participating in this project, which means there's a little bit of pressure on us to get it done, perform well, because if it goes well, this could be something that gets implemented in other schools across the state, which would be exciting. And I have no doubt that it's going to go well because we have some amazing teachers and amazing students, and it's just going to be a great experience for all of us. So let's talk through a little bit of some of the long-term effects of what the project may look like. You are going to go through an in-depth process of writing a variety of essays. Now, these essays start off talking about yourself and your own personal experiences. You could talk about family. You could talk about things that have happened to you in your life. You could talk about people that inspire you. You can talk about pretty much anything that you want to talk about. One of the keys is we're going to push you to do it in a short amount of words. It's called brevity, but the idea of can you convey your message without being overly wordy? Get to the point. Make a connection for the reader, make an emotional connection, or anything of the sort that helps them to feel like they're part of your story. In the process of writing these, we're going to go through a pretty intense revision process, because if we're going to be published, we got to write to perfection. Now, does that mean you're expected to write something perfect right from the start every time? Absolutely not. It's messy. Getting things down on paper for the first time is a challenge. In fact, I'll share with you, when we did the training in Long Beach, some of the prompts we had to write to were kind of hard. They forced you to think. They forced you to do a little processing, and you had to start sharing. And that could be challenging at first, and then you get comfortable with the process, and you go through it, and it ends up being a great experience for everyone involved. So other things to talk about with this is I got my list right here on the computer, so I'm trying to see if I missed anything. And it looks like we're doing pretty good. A couple things you have to know. One is during the next 8 to 9 weeks of the project, we need you to bring your computer every single day. You got to bring it charged and ready to go, because if you don't have your computer, it's going to be hard to work. 2, you will be doing what's called a pre-test. So since we are the only high school working on the project, it is being studied to see how the implementation goes and what the impact is on student learning. Today and tomorrow, you'll do a pre-test where you're writing to a prompt. Don't overthink it. Don't stress yourself out, but we have to have something to start of what our baseline is. What that means is, where did you guys start in the experience? And then when it concludes at the end and we look at the artifact that you chose to publish, we're going to see how we grew, and we're going to see how we improved upon our ability to communicate effectively through the writing process. So things to also know about the project. When we did this project prior, we did it in Visalia, California, and the students really did get into it. It was a little bit of slow at first because you start off writing about the origin or the history of your name, and a lot of times people haven't really spent a lot of time thinking about, how did I get assigned my name? Is there meaning to it? Is it historical? Is it a family name? And it starts the process of you have to do the introspective work. When I say introspective, a lot of what you're going to write about is your own experiences, where you have to look within and then figure out what you want to and how are you going to share this information through writing. There also are elements in the project that are verbal or oral communication, which involved different opportunities to read and to share, and artistic elements, or the students that want to do artistic representations. There are opportunities for you to present your story through art, and that's another element that we're pretty excited about. So what we're going to be doing is you're going to be writing 5 to 7 essays around different topics. It's almost one a week, and there's like a word cap of, I want to say, right around 500 or less words per essay. After we complete each essay, we go through a revision process, and then it gets submitted to take a look at. At the conclusion of writing all the essays, you will select the one that you feel is your best, or you feel the one that tells the best story, that you're the most proud of, whatever it may look like for you, but you will select one and submit it. That one will be utilized for publishing. And when I say publishing, I do mean an actual book, not like a paperback thing that we're going to give you or something that we just print out. It's a legitimate book that gets sent to a publisher. It's got a cover. You become an accredited author, and it can be purchased. It's real. You will also be getting a copy of the book to keep for your records. And it's something that you will always be able to say is that you are a published author. My hope would be that we're able to use these anthologies, if you will, or these different stories, and use them within our own school, that future generations of McLean High School students could utilize your stories and your experiences as the curriculum in their class. Not that I'm saying the curriculum you use right now isn't great, but I do feel like there's a unique story to tell about the McLean High School students and the McLean High School community, and this is your opportunity to be part of that process, to tell the story, inform future generations of students, and hopefully inspire the students that are to come after you with your experiences and stories. One of my favorite things at McLean High School, and I do really enjoy this, is the opportunities you get to learn from the students. There's different times where some of you find your way into my office, or we find ourselves in locations, field trips, whatever it may look like. And when you start asking questions and you hear people talk about, you realize that we have amazing experiences to share within our community, amazing stories. And I just am so excited about the opportunity for it to go on a wider scale and for people to learn about McLean High School and McLean High School students. So that being said, your launch into the project is very simple. One, you just got to get comfortable with sharing. The first essay you write is going to be a little uncomfortable. Embrace it. Don't panic. I had a hard time with it because I didn't know what the origin of my name was, and you wanted to come up with some cool story, and I just didn't have one, which is fine because there's 6 other opportunities to share, and you get through the first one, and then you keep going, and eventually one of the topics is going to resonate with you, and you're going to find the article that you want to publish. 2, you got to be coming to school. You got to be coming prepared, because if we don't have those things, it's going to delay us in the project. And when it comes to having a project that involves publishing a book, we actually have timelines. We have to get this submitted to the publisher in time for our book launch. Now, what is the book launch? It's a big celebration, a party that we do for all of our published authors, in which you get a copy of your book. We do book readings. We bring people in so they can enjoy it. And it's kind of like a big party. And that's something that we have planned for May. I want to say it's right around like May 22nd, 23rd. The date could change or be adjusted, but we have to meet the timeline and demands, which means you have to be on point. So expect your teachers to have a little bit of intensity when it comes to the project, because they're following a very tight timeline for everything to get submitted on time. I just want you to think about it for a moment. If we have 9th, 10th, and 11th grade participating in the project, that's about 1,600 students. If 1,600 students write 5 to 7 essays each. I'm not great at math, but I'm going to guess that's somewhere around 9 to 10,000 essays we have to read in an 8-week time. That is a lot that we have to get through, which means if you're doing that thing where you wait till the last minute, you turn things in late, you're going to drag everyone back with you, and you're going to make it hard for us to not only meet our timelines, but to produce something of high quality. So we need everyone to check in, get fully immersed and fully involved in the project, stick to the timelines, and do your part. You will have time in class set aside for writing. You're going to have time set aside for peer revision and peer review. And you're going to have time set aside where we're reading some of the stories from previous books that have been published, which were from high school students just like yourself. And when you read it, you're going to see some of it is gritty because it's raw. It's people writing from their own emotion and their own experiences. It won't be like some of the books you've read in the past. It's going to speak to you on a slightly different level. And that's the kind of work that we're looking for from you, is your ability to convey your message, convey your story, convey your experiences. And within that, we get the whole collective experience of the McLean High School students and the McLean community. So I am excited for this process. I'm excited for this project. I think it's going to be a great experience for everyone involved. Look forward to reading your work, look forward to participating in it, and I just hope you guys have a great time with it. I want to give a shout out and thank you to Dr. Bethina, the California State University's Chancellor's Office, for including McLean High School, to all of your teachers for participating in the training, going through it, coming back and committing to doing this with the students. I want to give a shout out to our Art Venture Academy. We're sitting right here in the studio. If you have any interest at all in podcasting, video production, this is an amazing experience. We had kids that did the broadcast for the Esports League this past weekend. Great broadcast. They broadcast all of our sporting events, the Highlander highlights, and we're going live because we're Art Venture now, and we could do everything on the spot immediately, which has been so cool and so exciting. And most of all, I want to preemptively thank you, all the students, for the work you're going to put in right now, for the effort you're going to give, and the exciting opportunity that we have in front of us to become published authors, do something that's never been done, really, that I know of within Fresno, and you guys are going to be one of the first groups. And I just cannot wait to see what we get done and how it goes. So I hope everyone has a great day. Thank you very much for your time. Let's see if I got any messages saying I didn't do well. Oh, no audio. Uh-oh. Kev, I got a text message that said they had no audio.